Rosamund Mary Ellen Pike is an English actress who began her acting career by appearing in stage productions such as Romeo and Juliet and Skylight. After her screen debut in the television film A Rather English Marriage and television roles in Wives and Daughters and Love in a Cold Climate, she received international recognition for her film debut as Bond girl Miranda Frost in Die Another Day, for which she received the Empire Award for Best Newcomer. Following her breakthrough, she won the BAFTA Award for Best Supporting Actress for The Libertine and portrayed Jane Bennett in Pride and Prejudice.
Pike had film appearances in the sci-fi film Doom, the crime mystery thriller film Fracture, the drama film Fugitive Pieces, the coming-of-age drama In Education, for which she was nominated for the London Film Critics Circle Award for British Supporting Actress of the Year, and sci-fi comedy The World's End. She also received British Independent Film Award nominations for An Education and Made in Dagenham, and was nominated for a Genie Award for Barney's version. Her other films include the spy action comedy Johnny English Reborn, the epic action-adventure fantasy Wrath of the Titans, and the action thriller Jack Reacher.
In 2014, her performance in the psychological thriller Gone Girl was met with widespread critical acclaim, winning the Saturn Award for Best Actress and receiving a nomination for the Academy Award for Best Actress. Pike received further acclaim for her starring role as Ruth Williams' comedy in the biographical drama A United Kingdom and for portraying the journalist Marie Colvin in the biographical war drama A Private War, for which she was nominated for a Golden Globe Award for Best Actress. Pike won the Primetime Emmy Award for Outstanding Actress in a Short-Form Comedy or Drama Series in 2019 for her role in State of the Union.
Pike, born on January 27, 1979 in London, is the only child of opera singers Caroline Friend and Julian Pike.
Pike attended badminton school in Bristol, and while appearing as Juliet in a production of Romeo and Juliet at the National Youth Theatre, was noticed by an agent, who helped her embark upon a professional career.
After being turned down by each stage school to which she applied, she gained a place to read English literature at Wadham College, Oxford. She graduated with an upper second-class honours degree in 2001, having taken a year off to pursue her acting career, gaining stage experience in David Hare's Skylight, Arthur Miller's All My Sons, and several plays by Shakespeare.
While she was still at Oxford, Pike acted in and directed various plays, including one by Simon Chesterman, who was then a graduate student. She also made appearances on British television shows, including A Rather English Marriage, Wives and Daughters, and Love in a Cold Climate, a mini-series based on Nancy Mitford's novels The Pursuit of Love and Love in a Cold Climate. She also appeared as Sarah Beaumont in an episode of the series Foyle's War.
After graduating, she was offered a role as a Bond girl and MI6 agent assigned to aid James Bond in Die Another Day. She also appeared in the special show Bond Girls Are Forever and, shortly afterwards, the BAFTA tribute to the James Bond series. She was the first Bond girl to have attended Oxford. Pike then played Elizabeth Mallet in The Libertine, co-starring Johnny Depp, which won her the Best Supporting Actress award at the British Independent Film Awards. In the same year, she portrayed Rose in The Promised Land, a film about Israel, and starred as scientist Samantha Grimm in the cinematic adaptation of the computer game series Doom.
In 2005, she appeared as Jane, the elder sister of Elizabeth, in Pride and Prejudice. Pike then starred in the film adaptation of Anne Michaels's novel Fugitive Pieces. She also starred as a successful attorney in the film Fracture, opposite Anthony Hopkins and Ryan Gosling. Pike was a judge at the 2008 Costa Book Awards.
Her stage credits include Hitchcock Blonde by Terry Johnson and Tennessee Williams Summer and Smoke, both in London's West End, and Gaslight at London's Old Vic Theatre. In 2009, she played the title character in Madame de Sade during the Donmars West End season.
She appeared in the British film Made in Dagenham and in the Canadian film Barney's version where she plays Miriam. In 2010, she starred in a production of Hedda Gabler on UK tour.
Pike has recorded voice work for a lead role in the film Jack Boots on Whitehall and lent her voice to a series of James Bond audiobooks, narrating The Spy Who Loved Me. In 2010, Pike played the part of Pussy Galore in the BBC Radio 4 adaptation of Fleming's Goldfinger. In 2011, Pike played the part of Kate Sumner in the Bond spoof film Johnny English Reborn, playing a psychologist and English's love interest. The film is a sequel to the 2003 film Johnny English and was a box office success, taking over $160 million.
In 2012, she played the role of Queen Andromeda in the fantasy epic Wrath of the Titans. She replaced Alexa Davalos, who had played the role in Clash of the Titans and had dropped out due to a scheduling conflict. Taking the role in Wrath of the Titans meant she had to drop out of consideration for a role in Man of Steel. Although the film was not well received by critics, it grossed over $300 million and critics considered her performance to be one of the film's highlights. She also starred as Helen Rodan, the female lead alongside Tom Cruise in the thriller Jack Reacher, an adaptation of the novel One Shot by author Lee Child. The film opened to positive critical reception and grossed over $218 million.
After a supporting role in the critically acclaimed The World's End, Pike was seen in the David Fincher-directed thriller Gone Girl, a film adaptation of Gillian Flynn's novel of the same name. Featuring opposite Ben Affleck, Pike was cast as Amy Dunn, a woman who goes missing on her 5th wedding anniversary. According to Fincher, Pike was his first choice for the role because he wanted someone who was not widely known, Pike having not appeared in any major leading role prior to the film's commencement, and because he found her enigmatic and couldn't easily read her. The film emerged as a box office hit, earning over $356 million in global ticket sales. The movie and Pike's performance both earned widespread acclaim from critics.
Richard Lawson of Vanity Fair wrote that the film is smartly shot, detailed, and performed and called Pike's portrayal a star-makingly good performance, spellbinding in its operatic mix of tones and temperatures. Todd McCarthy of The Hollywood Reporter said that she is powerful and commanding. Physically and emotionally, Pike looks to have immersed herself in this profoundly calculating character, and the results are impressive. She received numerous awards and nominations, including the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Leading Role, the Golden Globe Award for Best Actress, Motion Picture Drama, and the Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Leading Role.
Since 2015, she has voiced Lady Penelope Creighton-Ward in the remake of Jerry Anderson's Thunderbirds Ergo, produced by ITV in conjunction with Weta Workshop. In February 2016, she starred in the music video for Voodoo in My Blood by Massive Attack, directly inspired by the subway scene with Isabella Gianni in the movie Possession, directed by Andrei Zulawski.
In 2017, she took the role of the woman in the short film The Human Voice, written and directed by Patrick Kennedy and based on the play La Voix Humaine by Jean Cocteau, for which she won Best Actress at the Oxford International Film Festival.
In 2019, she was cast in the lead role of Maureen in Amazon Video's adaptation of Robert Jordan's fantasy epic The Wheel of Time. Her upcoming films include the thriller The Informer and Radioactive, in which she will play Marie Curie.
While at Oxford, Pike was in a relationship with Simon Woods which lasted 2 years. They later played the lovers Jane Bennett and Charles Bingley in Pride and Prejudice. She was then engaged to the director of that production, Joe Wright, but they broke up in 2008. Since December 2009, Pike has been in a relationship with Roby Uniacke, a businessman and mathematical researcher, and they have 2 sons. In 2015, when they visited China to promote Gone Girl, Pike mentioned that Uniacke had given her a Chinese name, and, being a fan of Chinese culture, they requested the media to use this as her Chinese name rather than the transliteration of her English name.
In 2015, she signed an open letter for which the ONE campaign had been collecting signatures. The letter was addressed to Angela Merkel and Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, urging them to focus on women as they would serve as the head of the Group of 7 in the African Union, respectively, which would start to set the priorities in development funding before a main United Nations summit in September 2015, supposed to establish new development goals for the generation.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.